Ask you a quick question.
Yeah.
I know there's no red on red. That's been a thing for a while, and that's understandable
I mean, it
because
happens, but
of the influx of Southerners coming up to Northern California.
right.
So that's understandable. Um, I'm quite sure it still happens. I'm quite sure it
Yeah.
still happens because right now,
Because banging is banging still. If
yeah,
you got youngsters in the streets,
right now, they're also not supposed to be doing that with each other,
right?
Right.
and it's still happening. It's still they don't give a fuck.
Right. Right.
Overall, the essays is still very much involved in that shit with each other. You see it all the time on the news. They always it's happening. So
Well, because
um
you got entrenched conflicts that. Oh, we lost Nate for a minute. He'll hop back on. But yeah, you have entrenched conflicts for one, neighborhoods that have not gotten along forever. But then also you just have young folks in particular just banging, right? And they beef over a female, or they beef
right.
over a bad hustle, or they beef over. It's not so much over territory anymore. It's just,
Now
it's
it's
just,
still territory out here. That's what I'm
is it?
telling you. Like they still going at it and they'll just deal with the consequences. Or a lot of the times, people think they're not finna get caught. They like, I'm finna do this and get away with it.
Right.
So I mean, I don't know, man. I see it all the time. Like, man, they don't give a fuck about what they was told. They were told
Right.
not to do that. They still set tripping.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of times you don't face consequences for that kind of stuff unless you get incarcerated, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's what I'm saying.
because the powers that be's real power is on those certain yards behind the wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to say there's no influence on the streets, but the real power is in there. And that's always been the threat, right? Is if you act up out here, you're going to wind up behind the wall at some point. And when you do, you're going to have to answer for what you're doing out here. And you're right. Just like when I was young, you don't think that you're going to get caught, right? And so, and when I was younger, there was no, at least that we were aware of, there was no like anti red on red type stuff. Like you just banging on whoever. Everybody was banging on everybody, you know.
Right.
And that's why I said is it seems that mentality kind of faded a little bit, and cats got it more into hustling and looking cool and the girls and everything else. But now even though it's hybrid or it's different up here at least, it's like everybody wants to be a gangster again, and
That's another speak on. You had said that in your video. You said that you feel like it's starting to pick up again as far as everybody wanting to be a gang member, and you made great points about it being because of social media. It's more in your face now. All you see is these dudes and they pulling out sticks and all this crazy in these rap videos, and that's enticing young trouble youth. Man, I want to be a part of something like that. So gangbanging is definitely picking up again. A lot of people felt like it was calming down, and it probably was to a certain extent. But going into 2024, yeah, it seemed like everybody, even people who don't bang, they're giving that vibe. Like,
right.
let's say this dude don't gang bang, but he from San Diego or he from wherever in California. He's a rapper. He's giving you because he's talking about his dead homies. Even niggas who don't bang, he talking about, not to say they don't got dead homies, but he talking about his dead homies. He talking about ops. He talking about on gang. He talking about sliding. The man ain't from nowhere. He got guns and sticks in his videos. Got niggas with Pooh Shiesty mask on in the videos. And you be like, I see it all the time. I'll be like, look, it's a channel out here. It's a YouTube page called Dago TV. They talk about all the stuff that go on in Dago, the upcoming artists, crime, whatever's going on. And I see a new rapper every day. I be like, who the fuck is this?
Right.
And everybody be talking slick and spicy in their raps. And you be like, where he from?
Right.
You find out he from somewhere where there's not even no gang over there like that. Or if there is a gang over there, he's not even from that gang. So, but everybody talking tough.
Yeah, because one of the things that frustrates me, right, as somebody that doesn't want to see folks get caught up, right, is when it comes to your neighborhood stuff, there's nothing wrong with, or even if it's maybe not a specific neighborhood, but your area, however you define that, right, there's nothing wrong with being proud of where you're from, right? That's normal. It's a normal human reaction, right? That is not unique to gang members or to violent people or to black and brown folks or anything else. It's the idea of repping where you're from is not new, right? And it's not criminal. So I get that part, But a lot of these little hybrid groups where people run around, they're not necessarily repping where they're from. Like you said, they're not from a gang or whatever, but it's like whatever identity they attach to, it's like the only way to be cool is to be a thug, right? Like there's not another option.
I blame
right?
women.
It's okay.
Women.
Huh.
Women like that thug shit. They like that bad boy image. So a dude who ain't naturally like that is going to present himself to be like that. Look, let's just look at one of the biggest rappers right now, Drake. Drake comes off as if he's some type of street nigga sometimes.
No.
And it took a while because he wasn't like that at first.
No.
I have more respect for him when he was just, singing to females and stuff like that. But then he start talking like gangster and tough because of the people he got around him. You know what I mean? Everything was monetized, and he talking about, if you just listen to his stuff, like drastically over the years, like into some type of shot caller or something. Like, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
One of my favorite examples of that same phenomenon, I don't know if you agree, is Chris Brown. Like Chris Brown was dancing around and was singing, and then he beats up his old lady, and he reinvents himself as a blood. And I'm like, wait. And now he's got bandanas and he's banged and hold on, that is not who you came into this industry being.
The influence of it, like he had all the women when he was doing the R&B and the dancing,
right?
But him hanging out with dudes from these specific areas, and instead of him just being like, these are my dudes, I rock with them, you want to start banging, bro. You are from Virginia, you are not from California.
Right.
Same thing with a Soulja Boy, Tiger. Like Tiger was trying to be a Hoover for a minute, but before that, when he first came, he was saying is footage of him saying that he is from Campanella Park, Piru, and Compton. Now you a Hoover, or was, and now you ain't nothing. Like that shit just look goofy. Like these niggas is really groupies at the end of the day. You just jumping from gang to gang, from pack of niggas to pack of niggas. I don't know, man. I don't respect it. Now I understand the gang member getting their money and they shine, and even still to a certain extent, man, when they say I don't know if you ever heard like the Don Moose say like the P ain't for sale or the B ain't for sale, whatever. This stuff ain't for sale, man, because you got homies that really put it on the line for this.
Right.
Now, I can understand if you're getting bread out of a Chris Brown and sending it to your homies behind the wall who actually put in work, you know what I mean, or working on their appeals and getting them lawyers to get them out. I understand that. But if y'all just hanging out and, messing with females and wearing designer clothes and pocketing all the money, you foul.
Right.
You foul for that, homie.
Yeah. See, I'm probably more conservative on that end, in the sense of if you didn't grow up doing this, then you should not be doing this in your music, in your entertainment, right? It's and the idea of somebody being able to jump in the mix because they're popular. I mean, we have it in North and South circles, right? But those artists, especially for the North at least, those artists haven't really reached any real heights. Like they're just regional kind of neighborhood cats, right? They haven't reached any real level of success,
But you see what they doing though, right? They get clamps on them now before they blow up,
right?
Because if you let's say somebody who, like you said, is not really from the North like that, but he's affiliated, and let's say he do blow up, these dudes is gonna already feel entitled because they've been rocking with you before you had that fame and that bag.
Well, and keep in mind that on our end, them dudes are still paying. Like, you can be regional. You can be regional, and you still, you go on Instagram and throw up a hand sign, and all of a sudden somebody gonna be in your DMs like, oh, I caught that.
Yeah,
and you see some artists change their music.
It's the same out here. They paying, but they're not paying people they don't know. They're not paying an organization. They're paying the guys that's around them. Mm-hmm. They paying the guys that's going to shows with them and making sure they straight. Them dudes is gonna be good. Like Chris Brown, the whole thing with Chris Brown and Soulja Boy, if you didn't see, them was two different crowds of Fruit Towns. The ones that Chris Brown be with is some real ones, but the ones that Soulja Boy was with was some real ones too. But clearly they was on two different sides of the politics. Right. You know what I'm saying? So they snatched these dudes up, and that's why Soulja Boy felt comfortable going over there like that. He never went back again. Never seen him over there again. But for that day, Guarantee you he paid for that day.
Right.
He probably was like, man, he probably put money in niggas' pockets. Of course, they're not finna let nobody touch Soulja Boy.
Right. Oh yeah, that's
I don't care who it is. I don't care what homie got a gripe with this. Hey, look, man.
Right.
Nigga just gave me 10 bands.
Right. Right.
I got 10 bands, a new toy with something hanging out of it. And on top of that, we finna go back to his house or his suite, and he got some females tonight.
Right.
Lay a hand on him if you want to.
Right. Right. Wait till we go to the Airbnb. That's not
right. Nigga don't care how long they known you, homie. You're not about to mess up what I got going
on.
And they might even told old boy when Soulja Boy put his arm around him, they might have even tore him off some money like, here, bro, here go a couple dollars, leave him alone.
Right.
And we gonna holler behind the scenes, turn them cameras off.
Right.
So,
yeah, that's I wish there was a way for like you were talking, you did a video, I shared it on my community post. And for those watching that are wondering, Nate had to check out on some family stuff. But about this idea of being a real one and how that sort of should, in my opinion, I think you would agree, should change with age, right? A real 30-year-old from your section should not be behaving the way that a quote unquote real, 15-year-old from your section behaves, right? Because you're not 15 no more, you're 30. If there was some way to promote the idea of, again, you could be proud of where you're from, you could stand on business, not have no goofy stuff, not cooperate with law enforcement, not done any weird stuff, but be responsible and take care of your family and have a job and be a productive member of society, and that's a good look,
right?
Like
and that's what me, you, and Nate Dogg and as well as a few others on YouTube are doing. We're giving the viewers a look at what it is to be a real one at the age we are. That came from where we came from, but that's not necessarily involved in the foolery. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't get it twisted, man. I'm probably a little more involved in the foolery than y'all two, because I'm younger than y'all.
I'd agree.
But still, even myself, I'm not gonna sit here and make it seem like I'm calling no shots. And it's young homies and homies my age, and even homies that's older than me that'll take my word based on who I am and my character. But I'm not out here telling nobody to do nothing. Right. I'm not here on that tip. That's what y'all on. I could lend my advice to y'all if y'all want to listen. But it definitely has to change over times, man. You can't be doing the same thing, because we got to understand this gang stuff in general was started by kids.
Right.
A lot of these rules were started by kids.
Right.
I'll be looking at it sometimes like, hold on, I don't agree with that no more.
Right.
I don't agree with that because people be like, oh, who am I to change it? The rules were set in stone. Yeah, by some fucking teenagers.
Right.
So after a while, it has to change. Laws change. Everything change over these rules. Some of these rules have to change. They have to evolve. Can't be stuck in the old times like, well, that's how it is. That's how it's always going to be. No, we are a bunch of grown men who know better. You know what I mean? You taking advice and rules from people whose prefrontal cortex wasn't even developed when they did it. This is why you can get out of jail now for something you did under the age of 25, because clearly you didn't know no better.
You wasn't thinking right.
So for you to know better and for still to be like, well, that's the rules, you goofy. Like I said, some of them I understand and they should be in place. Obviously, no telling, no, nothing with kids, nothing like that. That should always be set in stone. But some of this other stuff, hey, the homie said something, you got to pull up. You got to pull up and address him. Man, I'll catch him when I catch him, and I'm going to slap the shit out of him. I'm not pulling up. This ain't no big spectacle.
Right.
Nigga, you said what you said. It is what it is. And then nigga look at you like, well, you didn't pull up when he said, man, you not. I got shit to do. I got bills. And I'm not saying me. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
And somebody will really take offense. Like, well, didn't pull up. He not from the hood no more. So 20 years of you banging is down the drain because this nigga.
Because you didn't make it at 2 o'clock. Right.
Yeah, he wants your attention, and he told you to pull up, and you got to be at work. Hey, fuck that job. Tell him you're going to be late. So I'm supposed to be late and come pull up over there and get socked on and come to work late, beat up.
And that's, and I'm